YouTube, what a guan. Hope you guys are doing well and staying safe. Hope you guys are blessed up right now. That said, we've got a new video here on the channel, about to drop some heat for you guys. You know how I stay, guys, always dropping heat for you guys. If you see me looking over here, by the way, it's just because I have a few notes that I want to break down in this video. So in this video, what we're going to be doing is breaking down exactly how you should go about, I guess, closing clients without having any case studies or previous results, and successfully doing that as well. So I've got around 6 points in this particular, I guess, sheet here. We're not really going to be jumping in my computer today. I'm just going to kind of read these out for you. And this video, I've kind of done it before on my channel, but I want to make it kind of like in a list format, because I believe I only give you like one alternative that you can actually do instead of offering like free trials. Wink wink, we're going to get into that in a second, but long story short, guys, yeah, I wanted to put this in like a list format because there are creative ways of getting around closing clients without having any past results. Now, me personally, this week I've closed 2 clients right now. So I've closed 2 clients. One was $720, one was $700. These are social media management clients, and I also closed an e-commerce client for $1,500. Well, I am very, very close to closing them, where literally the $1,500 per month, that is, service fee is pretty much guaranteed, as in like that's 100% a go ahead. All we're doing right now is having back and forth conversations on whether or not we're going to do a 5% ROAS, 10% ROAS, and how we can make that work for them so that they're still, their profitability is, and their margins are not really affected too much. So what I'm going to do is kind of take their, I'm actually going to partner access to their ads account, go look through with my new media buyer, which I just hired, by the way, literally just hired a media buyer last week, or like couple days ago, like 2 days ago at this particular point. I'll get into all of that in another video, but in today's video, I'll definitely be breaking down like how to go about actually closing clients without any previous results, because I know that a lot of you guys are out there stuck. Now, without any further ado, all I ask for return for doing these videos is to please drop a like, comment, and please subscribe, because that's going to help me out with the algorithm, and make sure you turn on a little notification bell. So without any further ado, guys, let's jump into point number 1, or way number 1, or method number 1, I guess, to go around the whole ordeal about not having case studies and still closing clients. So first and foremost, what you can actually do, and point number 1, is you can offer free trials. I don't really recommend free trials, but you can offer free trials. I understand what your mindset is, and this is probably the most primitive, basic way, I guess. If you're using this sort of mindset, I guess you're thinking about it logically, but you're not being very creative. If I'm being honest with you, it's tough love, I know, but you're not being very creative as an entrepreneur. There are better ways. There's more ways to skin an apple. If I think that's skin a cat. I don't know why people say that. It sounds so horrible, but yeah, there are definitely more ways to get around this. So I guess offering a free trial is a good idea if you're very like, I guess, in the beginning, and that's the only thing you can kind of come up with. I can see where you're actually coming from, like I said, but like offering a free trial, if I was you, I wouldn't recommend that. I'm going to give you some more points in this particular video, but this is still a point, so I wanted to just throw it in on this particular video. And I can see, again, like I said, the thought process behind this, because when it comes to closing clients, most of the time, all they really want to know is how much do you charge? Can you do this? Have you done this before? And can you generate results? And can you do it? Can you actually do this for my particular business? That's pretty much all, most of the time, like 99% of the time, that clients basically ask, how much do you charge? Have you done this before? Can you show me? And can you actually do this for our business? And will it be profitable? That's pretty much all you kind of have to close people on a sales call. And you've pretty much got them as a client. So I can see where the results bit comes in. Now, I've personally done free trials before, built up my case studies or portfolios, and I still wasn't able to get that particular client that I worked with as an actual client of mine. I did the whole trial ordeal. It doesn't work. I've literally made videos on this on my channel, so I won't go into this too much. I would actually prefer you to offer a guarantee, which leads me on to my next point. So my next point would be, instead of doing free trials where you, for example, work for a whole month, but which, by the way, I don't even think a month long trial is even worth it, in terms of, I don't even think you're going to be able to generate great results in a month. Most of the time, it takes a little bit longer than that to actually generate great results. I mean, you can get results in like the first week, first 2 weeks, first 3 weeks, but I guess that's not common practice if you don't know what you're doing, especially if you don't know what you're doing, which, if you're offering a free trial, obviously indicates that you don't know what you're doing. So with free trials, it just puts you in a weak position. They think that you're just an amateur. You're going to get treated like an employee. Not only that, but you're going to be working for free, burning up your time, which is obviously the most valuable asset you have, and not getting a single penny. This kind of is rectified by offering a guarantee. Now, a guarantee, obviously, you can state literally where you take payment up front, for example, $1,500 or $2,000 or whatever you're charging, and if you don't get X results by, I don't know, 45 days in, 30 days in, 90 days in, or whatever it is you've agreed upon, if you don't hit your minimum threshold, so let's say you're working with an e-commerce business and you say, if we don't get you or produce you X result or X ROAS at X time, we're going to refund you our entire service fee. So if you can do that, and I genuinely 100% believe that's leaps and bounds. In fact, that's actually astronomically better than offering a free trial, because you're actually going to get paid. You're then going to actually deliver results, and you're going to, kill it for them, and you're going to actually keep your actual money. So you've basically done SMMA in the 100, like in the most, correct way possible, instead of doing the free trial thing, trying to build up your case studies and just failing and stuff like that. I don't really recommend doing the free trial thing again, because what's going to happen is it's going to be a huge learning curve in terms of like you actually learning the Facebook ads as well. I guess, yes, with guarantees, it's still the same thing, because nothing really changes except for the payment structure, where you get paid first, and then if you don't generate the results, you basically refund them. But all in all, guys, what I'm trying to say to you is that the guarantee is going to at least get you paid. And if you do happen to produce good results or hit your minimum threshold, for example, whatever you've agreed upon, you can keep your money, as in the money that you've actually charged them. So I highly recommend you do, guarantees over free trials. And again, I've made a whole video on this on YouTube, so I won't go into too much detail on that. You can go and watch it on my channel. So point number 3, I guess, guys, or way number 3, is to position yourself as an expert or a professional in this particular field. Now, here's how you do this, guys. You're going to spend a couple of, I guess, just about 1 to 2 weeks learning the ins and out of Facebook ads through YouTube, through Google, through blogs, that sort of stuff. And then what you can actually do, guys, is actually start positioning yourself on your social media as an actual expert. Create content based around your industry with your actual services. And what I mean is, if you're offering Facebook ads to e-commerce businesses, then start talking about, for example, the top 3 mistakes e-commerce businesses are doing with Facebook ads, or the do's and don'ts of Facebook ads with e-commerce businesses, why Facebook ads is a viable, way to grow your e-commerce business in 2021. Create content like that. Now, what that's going to do, guys, is put you and make you be seen as an authority figure, so you can actually get inbound leads that way. Not only that, but when you're kind of like on, like, for example, video, or you're creating content around your services, you automatically get put into, I guess, this kind of like pedestal of, yeah, he's probably an expert, so he knows what he's talking about. So again, the method behind this madness here, guys, is you want to position yourself as an expert in your particular field with the service that you're offering. And again, what's going to happen, guys, is, I'm not too sure if you've ever heard of this kind of like analogy, but it's kind of like, when you go to a doctor and you go to see a specialist, for example, first and foremost, you've already gone to see them because they're a specialist. So you've gone out of your way to see them, which obviously puts them on a pedestal already. So you're already listening to this dude. He could literally tell you to hop on one leg for 2 weeks straight, and it will cure you. If he says it's serious enough, and you'd probably do it. So long story short, without even, checking his credentials or anything, like, it's actually funny how we just walk into a doctor's office, and just because they're actually sat in the seat, we just trust them. That's for another story. But anyway, guys, look, when you're actually explaining stuff to a doctor, and he says, for example, let's say you have a pain in your shoulder, and he then starts to say, oh, have you been leaning on that side? And you actually have, and you're like, oh shit, he actually knows my pain problems, so he must know the solution. That's automatically going to trigger in your brain that, this person can explain my situation in detail, in so much detail, in fact, that he sounds like a pro. And that's what you want to do with your particular industry. You want to explain their pain problems. You can even create case study videos on this sort of stuff, guys, where you actually are explaining like the pros and cons of Facebook ads, or even just the pros of Facebook ads, should I say, the actual pain problems that most e-commerce businesses have, which is, trying to diversify their traffic. Their sales are very sporadic because they're trying to diversify too much without even getting one traffic source to work for them consistently. So they're trying Facebook ads, Google ads, SEO, they're trying influencer shoutouts. Influencer shoutouts itself are not even really that trackable, if I'm being honest with you. So break down some of their pain points in such detail that it automatically triggers in their brain that, oh shit, if this dude knows my pain problems, he probably has some sort of solution. And then you start dropping your solution, and then they come to you. Now they don't really have to ask you, and it's almost like they just automatically assume you know the solution to their problem because you've just explained their problems to them. And when you can actually do that, you build trust in people. And again, with this whole case study thing, it's just a matter of, can I trust you to actually get results for my business? And I'm paying you money, so can I trust you? And again, that's just going to help you break that barrier and make them see that you are the person that can actually generate the results. There's also a kind of like another side to this, and which is on your sales calls. So when you're on sales calls as well, you want to kind of exude confidence, and you want to be competently speaking. I don't even know if that's a real thing, but you know what I mean. You guys know what I mean, guys. So on this channel, we make up words sometimes. But anyway, long story short, guys, you want to make sure that you're on your sales calls, you're talking confidently, you're speaking slow, you're not stuttering, and that's going to put you way ahead of most people in the SMMA industry. If I'm being honest with you, that sales stuff really sucks. Don't be pushy. You want to be kind of relaxed, calm, cool, collected, and that's kind of going to again show them that you're an expert as well. Because if you notice that when you speak to an expert, they're very abrupt, They're very straight to the point. They cut the crap. And that's when you kind of know when someone's an expert. If someone's on the phone kind of like blabbering, trying to explain every single little point and stuff like that, you can kind of see that they're probably not an expert, and they're new to this. Whereas experts, they're almost like cutthroat. They're almost slightly rude, if I'm being honest with you. So if you take a look at, like, for example, Lord Alan Sugar over here in the UK, when he speaks, you can tell that he's just got that authority and he knows what he's talking about, because he's just straight to the point, straight cutthroat. You're gonna kind of want to be like that on your sales calls. Don't obviously be rude to people, but you want to kind of take that and implement into your sales calls, and that's going to show people that you're confident as well, and probably gonna, and again, that's going to push across that you know what you're doing, even if you don't, guys. And that's the kind of cool thing about it. So that's point number 3 or 4, I can't really remember, but let's move on to the next point. So point number 4, I believe it is at this particular point, I kind of forgot, but it kind of links onto the other point where I'm talking about the sales call. So in your sales call specifically, what I want you to do, guys, is instead of talking about the features of your actual service, talk about the outcome. Now, everybody kind of messes this up and kind of, screws this up in SMMA when they're on sales calls. They talk too much about the features of Facebook ads. Guys, you're not selling Facebook ads. I know it sounds crazy, but you're not actually selling Facebook ads. You're selling what Facebook ads can do for this business. And here's what I mean. On sales calls, what you want to do is you want to ask about the person's current situation and their desired situation, their A point and their B point. So what you want to do is figure out where they're at now. For example, let's say you're talking to an e-commerce business and they're making 25K per month revenue, and they want to scale that up to 75K per month revenue in whatever, time frame. Then what you want to do is kind of show them that there's a gap in between these two things. And again, I've broken down the sales stuff on my channel before, especially in my whole how to start a social media marketing agency in 2021 video, the huge one. It was like 2 hours long, so definitely go and watch that if you haven't already. So what you want to do is find their A point, their B point, and then you want to position yourself as the vehicle that's going to get them from point A to point B. And Facebook ads is just a tool that's going to help you get them from point A to point B. You just want to talk about like how Facebook ads is the best to get them there in the quickest time possible and why it is, but you don't want to go into like the nitty-gritty details of like, oh, we do retargeting ads and we do video ads and then we do retargeting. You don't need to go into all that crazy detail on like lookalike audiences and pixel retarget. Like, bro, you slow down. You don't need to do all that shit, because what they only care about is the outcome. Literally, business owners couldn't care less if you was literally going door to door selling their products to people and actually making them that revenue. They don't care how they get to 50K per month, as long as they get to 50K per month or 75K per month or whatever the example was. They literally don't care. You could literally be cold calling people. You could be doing Google ads, SEO. They don't care as long as they hit that 50K per month mark. And I'm pretty sure if you think about yourself, if you was talking to somebody and they can help you go from, I don't know, zero, like let's say you're making like 5K right now to 50K, for example, you probably wouldn't care how they helped you do that. Neither. You just want to get there, literally. And it's the same thing with business owners. They don't really care about the Facebook ad stuff. I notice a lot of people try to sell them on the features and like little nitty gritty stuff in the of like behind the Facebook scenes and stuff like that. But guys, nobody really cares about that as long as they know what the actual outcome of that is. Not only that, but it's actually another layer. So let's say somebody wants to go to from 50K to 100K with their e-commerce business, and you're going to help them with Facebook ads, and you're going to help them get there, and you've explained why that's the best thing. Not only that, guys, but like the actual desired figure, there's a reasoning behind that. So I've noticed that when you speak to business owners, there's always like layers to this, like an onion, as Shrek would say. Don't know why that came to mind, but you guys know what I'm trying to say. There's obviously they want to get to 100K, but why do they want to get to 100K? Is it because they want to travel more, build another business? What is it? You want to sell them on that. It's actually not the money you're actually selling them on. It's what the money is going to allow them to do, which is probably more freedom, more options, that sort of stuff, guys. So sell them on that instead of the features of Facebook ads. And again, that's going to take their mind off of the little gritty stuff, and it's what you call not triggering feature brain. So when you're actually on a call and you start talking features, you're going to trigger their feature brain, which is then focusing on too much of the nitty gritty stuff on Facebook ads, and now you have to kind of prove every single thing you say. So don't go down that route. Go down the outcome route instead, where you're talking about the actual outcomes and what it can actually do for their business as a bigger picture. That's what I'm trying to say, guys. So that's point number 4. Point number 5. So point number 5, or route number 5, or method number 5, should I say, to go around, closing clients without any case studies, is you can literally authority hijack off of other people. So what I mean by this, guys, and I don't know why people think this is unethical or lying or cheating. It's not lying or cheating. I don't recommend you do any sort of lying, cheating, stealing, or anything like that. So don't go to Google and type in like e-commerce Facebook ad results and then copy them in a screenshot, and don't ever do that. that will always come back to burn you. And I guess I actually have a saying, guys, for those who think that that's okay, don't do that. The actual saying is, if you try to cut corners, corners will come back and cut you. So don't actually do that, because it always will come back and hurt you in the long run. So don't ever do that. What I recommend you do though is take a look at your community right now in terms of where are you? Are you actually in groups with people who talk about Facebook ads all the time? Are you even in mentorship programs with other people who are mentoring you? Because think about it, if you, for example, are on the phone with somebody on Zoom, for example, on an actual sales call, and they ask you, do you have any past results? You can then literally say that, you have an associate who might be your mentor, or one of your friends even that's really good at Facebook ads. You have an associate out in the UK, out in Australia, out in wherever they're located, that's actually taught you Facebook ads, and you've actually helped them and worked with them and shown, and you've actually seen behind the scenes of their campaigns that have generated crazy results for X amount of clients in X amount of days. You get the idea, guys. And what you can do is use that and name drop that person, for example, and actually, or you don't even name drop that person, but actually just kind of put them in there in terms of like, yeah, my associate out here has taught me how to generate generate awesome leads, crazy amount of leads with Facebook ads. We actually worked on a campaign together, and he actually showed me the behind the scenes of the campaign that generated 110 leads in X days. You get the idea, guys. That's gonna authority hijack from other people and make you look creditable as well. I've literally seen another guru on YouTube actually do this and actually close a client from this as well. He literally talked about his mentor from a mentorship program and how his mentor's making millions a year, and he said he's now been taught this and he can actually replicate this for your business, even though he's had zero results at that particular point. And he literally closed a client. Well, he probably had a little bit of results, but that video in particular didn't actually show any of his results. It just showed his mentor's results and how he grew his business, and now he's taught that to him, and he's showing how he's taught him what it entails, all that sort of stuff, and now he can actually replicate that for other people's businesses. And he literally closed a client for that, so client with that particular video. So you can definitely go about doing that. And guys, point number 6, I believe it is, last but not least, and this is the favorite, most go-to, I guess, way that I recommend 9 times out of 10. So this, in fact, what am I talking about? 100% of the time, I recommend this, guys. This should have been number 1, but I want to save it until last. So if you're still here, definitely drop a comment saying, I don't know, lemon pepper or some shit like that, just to see who watches these videos to the end. But anyway, long story short, guys, what you want to do in point number 6, or way number 6, and this is the best method, is to go and find a team member who already has results and leverage those. Now what I mean by that, guys, and I don't know why people think this is unethical, I made videos about this on my channel as well, but you can literally go and find people who are already experts at Facebook ads and you can leverage their results. That's going to expedite you tremendously in terms of you're not going to have to fumble around trying to get free trials, fumble around offering guarantees. You can literally just cut straight to the front in terms of the sort of results you're able to get. So let's say you find a media buyer who has really awesome results for the real estate industry. You can now show those results as yours, because this person is now in your agency and working with you as your team member in your agency, which makes your agency jump up in terms of its stature, in terms of its credibility as well, and in terms of its trust as well. So that's going to help you with trust, the trust part with clients, because you can actually now pull up case studies saying, hey, here's a previous client we worked with, me and my team worked with, and we was able to generate them X results in X amount of days. So yes, we can actually do this, and that's going to develop tremendous amounts of trust in your clients, and you can actually leverage that as well. It's harder than it sounds, just going out and finding someone with results, but I'll make a whole video on this and how I found my media buyer in the next video. That being said, guys, that was just 6 points on how, or 6 methods should I say, on how you can actually go about closing clients without any case studies. And as you can see, offering free trials is not the only route, guys. So if you're thinking that primitive way, yes, that is just one way. There's probably even more ways that I've not even thought about that I'm yet to discover, which is exciting stuff. I always like learning new stuff. But so if you have any sort of other ideas, definitely drop it in the comments, so I can actually take a look and possibly use that in my next video. That being said, guys, I hope you guys have learned something in this particular video. Go out there, you can still close clients without case studies. Go and watch this video or back again. Some of these points are extremely valid and will land you clients, paying clients as well. So again, guys, hope you're doing well, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.